Hi guys, welcome back to Footy with Wally. So let's analyze the games with English clubs in the Champions League week 1. And if you haven't watched my predictions, the only game that I got it wrong was Manchester City, because I said it would be a draw and Manchester City ended up winning. But anyway, enough of boasting. Let's go to the video. So starting with Tottenham, that will be a quick one because I already analyzed this game like in an in-depth analysis, because in the channel I cover mostly Tottenham, and when I have time I talk about other English clubs. So basically I didn't like Tottenham this game, like the lack of creativity and conceding too many chances to Villarreal, and the offensive quality of the team tends to improve with time, because let's be honest, at the present moment Tottenham consists in long balls, crosses, set pieces, like to attack. And that is obviously not sustainable in the long term. However, I believe Thomas Frank will solve this very quickly, because to train a team to attack well, you need more time than to prepare a team to defend well, because defending is easier. So in general, a poor performance in my opinion. And if you want to know more about this game, just go to my last video. So Bilbao 0, Arsenal 2. Like, this game is kind of interesting because you're seeing the numbers, and yes, Arsenal deserved to win, like 3 big chances, 1.28 XG. Like basically Arsenal plays better. Bilbao wanted to press, mid-press, let's say, and they wanted to get the ball, like tackle, get the ball, and transition very fast, because they are used to do this in La Liga, in like any game they play basically. However, there is no moment where watching this game, I was like, Arsenal will concede, like no moment at all. But especially in the first half, I don't think Arsenal's plan was working, because the plan for this season is to feed Gyökeres, like to create chances for the striker to score. However, in the first half, I did not see this. Like in the first half, it was a very equal game. Gyökeres wasn't so comfortable. He wasn't getting so many balls, quality passes to dribble and shoot. Also worth noting that Bilbao didn't have Nico Williams, which is like their best player. That is very important to say as well. But going back to Arsenal, the first half I would say was very equal. And in the second half, especially after the changes, instead of Eze, Martinelli, instead of Gyökeres, Trossard, which was ironically Arsenal from last season. Like the Arsenal from this season is better, but regarding style, Arsenal from last season was basically what happened in the second half. Like a team without a proper 9, a very mobile attack and a more transitional approach rather than a possession attacking football, which was a very intelligent approach by Arteta, because he saw that his plan was not working, and then he changed and the team started to perform better. And I would highlight Thubimendi, who I always say this, he is just one of the best DMs in the world. He is just so good, like long balls, cover ground, he does everything. Like he controls the tempo of the game. And in the second half, like he started just distributing long balls to people. Even though he also did this in the first half, I believe it started to work better in the second half, because one, Martinelli is like very faster than Eze, for example. Even though I believe quality wise in tight spaces, Eze can be more a dribbler. But like for someone to just throw a long ball, and then having someone who will get to that ball fast very quickly, Martinelli, I believe it's a better player for this. So his match with Thubimendi was like very good. And also we saw the big difference between Arsenal squad and Bilbao squad, because Arsenal had good players on the bench who could come up and then change the game basically, which is literally what happened. And once Bilbao started to seem very tired, because their strategy is based on physicality, not physicality in the sense of like strong big boys, but like tackling all the time, getting the ball and then just running transitionally, I believe. So in the second half, they didn't have so many good players on the bench like to keep the energy, and Arsenal just started to put fresh players, like fresh legs to just run behind the defense. And the first goal was basically this. Oh, and actually I also forgot to say that the first game was against Villarreal. I said the result would be 3-0, but it was 1-0 Tottenham, but I got the winner right. This game I said in my prediction that would be 2-0 Arsenal, and it was 2-0 Arsenal. So far 2 right, 1 with the exact result. So let's get next game. Liverpool 3, Atleti 2. Like, if you see 3-2, you imagine like a very balanced game with a lot of like momentum swap or something. But the game wasn't this. In my opinion, Liverpool played very, very well, like throughout the game. They dominated the game, momentum, etc. Like after 6-7 minutes, it was already 2-0. However, with Atleti, you can't take them for granted, because they are very annoying. Like they don't give up, and then when they started to feel some momentum, they capitalize from their opportunities. And also, I don't know if you agree with this, you can leave in the comments. Okay, I just checked to be sure, but it was the first goal, it was the first Atleti's goal, which in my opinion should have been disallowed, because Griezmann is literally in front of Alisson and he is offside. And I saw people saying, but he's not directly interfering theory in his sight, let's say. However, I believe he was close enough for the goal to be disallowed, especially because we know how good Alisson is, and he jumped quite late, I believe, or at least I saw some delay. He sort of waited some seconds to jump, which for me is a sign that Griezmann actually distracted him. But anyway, in general, I really liked Liverpool this game, offensively speaking, even defensively speaking, because even though Liverpool conceded 2 goals, in my opinion, they defended well throughout the game. And attacking, as you've seen, like they created a lot of chances. The XG is 2.72, big chances 7. They could have scored easily 4 goals this game, like 4-5, and it would have been a fair result actually. I remember Kitike missing an opportunity. I remember like Van Dijk almost scored the same goal he scored at the end of the game, like literally some minutes before that. Individually speaking, everyone was very good. I would just say that Wirtz, he didn't seem so comfortable in that role, like as a number 10, especially because with Xabi for Bayer Leverkusen, he was a 10, but on the left, like in a 3-4-2-1 or 3-2-4-1 is basically the same. And basically he was the player who plays behind the 9, but on the left. Basically like Cunha has been playing for United before he got injured. So I would say he was closer to the goal, to their position of goal. However, I think that's just a matter of time. I believe once he adapts as the central number 10 for Liverpool, he will do amazing. Because honestly, the quality is there. He is very good, and he has a very, very good team to support him. And also I wanted to comment on Szoboszlai, because when Liverpool signed Wirtz, I saw a lot of people saying the team would be like Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz, and then 3 in the attack. Basically easily putting Szoboszlai on the bench, but the guy is playing very well. And I don't know what Arne Slot will do with him once everyone is fit. Like, I'm not so sure he will be benched. Because if we're talking about merit, he has been playing very well. So maybe, I don't know, Gakpo could be benched, and the attack would be Salah, Isak, Wirtz, and Ekitike. In that case, would be like the midfield would be Gravenberch and Szoboszlai without McAllister. But McAllister is very good. So I don't know. Like, imagine being a Liverpool fan. Your problem is literally, I have too many good players. I don't know what to do with all of them. Like, I just wish I had this problem actually. And oh, just to finish this game, I had predicted the result as 1-0 Liverpool, but it was actually 3-2, which surprised me a lot. However, I got the winner right. So 100% accuracy so far. So next one, Bayern Munich against Chelsea. The XG was 2.7 against 0.73. And basically, as I said about Arsenal, I did not feel Bayern Munich would lose this game. Like, I felt Bayern Munich were very comfortable throughout the game. And Chelsea, even though I agree with Maresca starting 11, but in 3 midfielders instead of 2 and 4 offensive players, because playing against Bayern Munich away, you need to be more cautious, let's say. Like, in my prediction, I literally said this: Bayern Munich are very good attacking. Like, they just attack very, very well. And I do not trust any Chelsea centre-back. I'm obviously talking about the fit players, because Chilwell is injured. And I said I was pretty sure they would concede because of this. And we saw Chelsea giving a goal to Bayern, and then Harry Kane scoring 2 goals. And also, I didn't like Palmer this game. Apart from the goal, I didn't feel his protagonism. And in my opinion, in those games, like very hard games, you need someone to be the protagonist for you to win. But I felt Palmer disappeared for some time throughout the game. And also João Pedro, I didn't like him this game. I felt I didn't like Chelsea this game, to be honest, even offensively, because I had said in my prediction that I knew Chelsea would concede. I was just wondering how many goals would they score. And offensively speaking, I don't think they produced a lot. Like, you're seeing one big chance, 0.73 expected goals. So basically Chelsea deserved to lose. But honestly, guys, against Bayern Munich away, it doesn't really matter, because you already expect to lose that game, because Bayern Munich are a very good team, probably within the top 4, top 5 best teams in Europe. So regarding result, I don't think that was surprising. I don't think that was such a bad sign. However, that was a sign that Chelsea need to sign a very good centre-back. Because honestly, guys, how much have you spent on like Garnacho, Bayern Gittins, all of those players that are not so good to be like, this guy would always start our games because he is just so good. Like, they are not that player yet. I don't understand how you can have Enzo and Caicedo like more than 200 million euros and play against Bayern Munich with 2 centre-backs that are worth together 45 to 50 million. It doesn't make any sense to me. So far, 4 out of 4 guessing correctly the winner. So Barcelona 2, Newcastle 1. Starting with the result, I believe it was sort of expected for Newcastle to lose. However, I do think they played well, like very well. Defensively speaking, they didn't concede much opportunities to Barcelona, which in my opinion would be probably like the second strongest team in the world, just after PSG. And Newcastle could have scored easily 2 to 3 goals this game. So I think the fact that they chose the correct approach was very intelligent. Like they chose to play behind Gerard Martin of Barcelona left back. First, he's not so fast. Second, he is not so good, basically. At least not right now, maybe in the future. But like right now, he's not ready. And Newcastle with Bruno Guimaraes and Elanga just exploited that space, like with long balls, with progressive passes behind the defense. And Elanga trying the 1v1s. But in a very big game like this, you need to take your chances because Newcastle created chances. Like they had 4 big chances, but they didn't capitalize from all of those chances. And it's also worth noting that obviously Barcelona didn't have Lamine Yamal, which is probably like in quality within the top 3 best players in the world. Probably him, Salah, Haaland, something like this. And there is also Mbappe, Harry Kane actually. So let's say within the 5 best players in the world here, like quality-wise, Lamine Yamal is there, but they didn't have him, which was very good for Newcastle. And the unexpected happened, which was Rashford just reminding us why he was seen some years back, like someone with the potential of being one of the best players in the world. Which also reminds me that it is so bizarre for me that every Manchester United player, once they are not playing for Manchester United, they just become very good. Have you realized it? McTominay, Anthony, now Rashford, which makes me think that the problem is not the players, but the club. But anyway, in general, Newcastle could have won this game if they had taken their opportunities, but they didn't, and they were punished by Barcelona because of it. Because against Barcelona, against Bayern Munich, against PSG, against Liverpool, you can't like make mistakes. You need to capitalize from your chances, otherwise they will score and then you'll lose the game. And just to finish this game, I had said 3-1 Barcelona and it was 2-1. So I almost got the result right, but at least I said Barcelona would win and Barcelona won. So last but not least, Manchester City against Napoli. I won't take too much to analyze this game because for the majority of the game, Napoli had to play with like 10 men because Di Lorenzo was sent off, correctly sent off, because he just tackled Haaland in an opportunity that it was a clear opportunity for Haaland to score. He would get the ball and then he would have a 1v1 against the goalkeeper because there were no other defenders next to the ball. So in my opinion, it was a correct red card. And after that, KDB had to be sacrificed, had to be substituted because like playing with 10, why would you waste Kevin De Bruyne in that game? It doesn't make any sense. So especially in the second half, I didn't pay much attention to the game. However, I wanted to highlight how amazing Haaland is because I believe people started to normalize how difficult it is for someone to score so often as Haaland does. And also Jeremy Doku. This season, he seems very comfortable on the ball with a lot of freedom to dribble when he wants, like just do whatever he wants with the ball. And for his game style, I believe that will help him a lot. And he is playing very well. And I had, sorry, I'm recording this in the morning. And I had said that this game would be 2-2, but once the game became 11 against 10, I knew my prediction would be wrong. But that was it, guys. If you want to tell me anything, use the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend in case I have said anything useful. And see you in the next time. Bye.